Hey there, you beautiful people. This week's episode is brought to you by Deep Creek Glassworks. Deep Creek Glassworks is your place to find handmade, one-of-a-kind glass for everybody. Trying to stand out with a handmade gift? Trying to impress your loved ones or someone you would like to become a loved one? Look no further, Deep Creek Glassworks has you covered. They offer ornaments, pendants, wine glasses, functional glass, and more. Hop on their website to pick up your glass pumpkin decoration just in time for Halloween. They offer fast shipping and crush-resistant boxes, so support a local business and check them out at their new website, deepcreekglassworks.com. Works is spelled W-O-R-X. And just for you, make sure you use the promo code SUPERFUN for 10% off of your next order. So go ahead, hop on deepcreekglassworks.com, W-O-R-X, and get all of your glass needs met today. Love you guys.
Welcome back for another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. Find us on Facebook.com/SuperFunPodcast, Twitter.com/SuperFunPodcast, Patreon.com/SuperFunPodcast, Instagram at SuperFunPodcastGo, iTunes at Superfun Game Review Podcast Go. Thanks and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go! Across from me this evening, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Steve.
Paint me like one of your French birds.
And I'll be your host this evening. Some duck without a neck. I don't know.
Wow. You know what? For that, you can Van Gogh fuck yourself. I suggest you marinate on that, bud.
Yeah. That's it. I have nothing for this game.
That's
throw a paintball in your direction.
Oh, fuck, man.
Or maybe make a column 3-dimensional in a world with spiders that hang out in the dark.
Is that your weird Halloween erection fetish?
Yes.
Nice. Just in time for the season.
Well, cool. Well, initial impression, Steve.
Yeah, of
Start
the unfinished Swan.
Yes, give us your unfinished first impressions.
Oh, because it's not
just
final
stop
thoughts.
mid-sentence.
Yeah. I think I just remember seeing initially the demo for this, and it looked like one of those games that isn't a game. I mean, all it was basically the first level you're running around just shooting like a little paint gun that fires balls, paint balls, and they splatter, and it's like, oh, all right, this is kind of different. And then you start wandering through a little bit and kind of see it like picking it off. So, I mean, I played the demo and I'm like, oh, this could be a thing. It's like, I don't really know. It's different than your regular type. So it got me curious. I can say that at least. It's not like this was something where I'm like, oh my God, I need to buy this right away. But it was like, I'm curious. And then especially when we did What Remains of Edith Finch, and they were saying, oh, well, the unfinished Swan has some things to do with this game. I'm like, oh, now I need to actually go check it out.
I'll be honest, I never heard of this game until we played What Remains of Edith Finch, and we did some research on that and found that my interest in Unfinished Swan stemmed from Easter egg that they put in What Remains of Edith Finch about this game with the kid vanishing. So I thought they were going to be a little bit more related. I thought the main character was going to be that child's name from What Remains, but turned out it was a very, very separate story from this.
Yeah, and there was only that pretty much tied it together. There were maybe one or two little references that were made in What Remains that are in Unfinished Swan, but I don't know. I guess I'm with you. I was expecting a little more tie-in between the two.
Definitely
not the case.
Cool. Well, let's I guess float down the river.
Oh,
and jump into game development.
Are we floating or jumping?
Floating.
I can't breathe. I'm underwater.
Game development.
All right, so real quick, couldn't find a lot of information on this, but 2008 they started production with the tech demo.
Giant Sparrow.
Giant Sparrow once again. This was their first title. 4-year development, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it released in 2012. I don't know if they were fully committed to developing it in that. It just seems like that's a long development time for this.
I think they seem to have most of it kind of together, but they initially just didn't have the backing for distribution. And then I forget, they went through some sort of program for like indie developers to, kind of get a little foothold in. And that's what I think most of that time was just getting them up to the point where they can scale and actually have a platform to put this on, rather than just, hey, here's like a little demo or what we actually have together at this point.
I'll tell you something that I'm kind of sad didn't make it into the final copy of the game. In their tech demo, the music that was provided came from Moby.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't keep that for the finished product, unless it was just a temporary license just to use it for their demo. I don't know what happened there. That's a shame it didn't make it into the final copy though.
Yeah, because I think it was something where it was like non-commercialized or non-commercial titles that he gave to them. So if it's non-commercial, but I mean, if you wrote it, I'm sure there's a way you can like backtrack and then license it if something's coming out. So I don't know.
Anyway, that's really all I could find on game development, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this is like a too in-depth game when it really comes to it, and really anything else we're just going to cover in either, music or graphics. So, I mean, that's short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah, I think tonight's episode is going to be, it could be one of our shortest episodes.
Could be. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's spray some water and grow our way into story.
Ooh.
Story.
Creative.
That is so creative. You know what I really liked? That app Vine. That was great.
So I guess the core story here, and I think there's a little abstraction that can be made here. I guess it's a story about a child that was at an orphanage
yes.
because his mother died. And his father wasn't in the picture.
Yeah.
Well, he is.
Whoa. You take like 2 seconds there, my friend. Hold on now.
But his mother died, which might have some of the relation to what remains possibly there.
Possibly.
But when he was leaving the orphanage, he was only allowed to take one picture with him of the 400 that his mother made. And apparently part of her art style was never finishing the paintings that she started.
A woman that always starts something but never finishes it, huh? Wow. Well, I'm going to get so much hate for that. I'm kidding. You're all strong, independent, beautiful women.
But his favorite one was the unfinished Swan that his mother did.
Yeah.
And I know one night it came to life and like flew away and he chased after it.
Yeah.
And it brought him, I guess, to this world that was completely white. And that's kind of where you pick up in the game.
And you're always chasing that swan. The first time I saw the graphic of you chasing the swan, I thought back to the South Park episode of Guitar Hero, where then it's Heroin Hero, and Stan's dad's just sitting on the couch, just like completely zoned out, like he's just high as balls, and it's just him playing like Heroin Hero, and you're just chasing this dragon. Are you gonna come get me? Oh, come on, you're closer. Oh, come on, you can't get it. Oh my god.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
No?
No.
Oh, do yourself a favor.
Heroin Hero.
Heroin Hero. Well, because they become such big rock stars, and what do rock stars do?
Chase the dragon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Always looking for that first one, but can't ever reach it. Just like this swan, just almost can never reach it. Yeah.
So this game is one big metaphor for doing heroin?
That's what I took from this. That was my experience. I'm not sure what yours was. I mean, you were sitting there playing while I was chasing a swan.
Excuse me, real quick, Steve.
Oh, no, it's popping. Yeah, that's a good one.
So I'm just getting primed to the episode tonight. But anyway, okay, so he's in this world that's completely white. You start painting it with globs of paint.
Yeah.
Traversing through it, and you find, I guess there was this almost like a tyrant king who made all these rules.
Yeah, he was a very heavy-handed king. It's
Yeah,
like he was. Yeah,
and he wanted, I guess, his original world clean, but then the people complained, so then he added shadow, and then they complained about that, and then I guess something was growing in it. I forget how that started
it's like
growing.
The whole progression of the game is just kind of like you're almost kind of building the world back. I guess, or like through like the king's different phases.
Yeah.
Where first it all like you start out with like the black ink, and then you move into, I think the next one is it the water? I think, or was there like one more in between? I'm not sure, but basically your journey takes you through his kingdom and his land and the different interactions once you're in different points.
Yeah, but you're basically traveling to what was it? Like this little shack on the top of an island. I think that's what you're trying to get to. Mm-hmm. So you finally reach this cabin, find an old man there who was the king of this world, and then he admits to being your father.
Yeah, and that's when it brings it all together.
And he passes on. Was it the paintbrush?
The silver-tipped paintbrush or something that used to be his mother's.
Mm.
Yeah, because that was the one thing that the king was able to hold on to when the mother left, because it's basically they were a couple, mom left, king got depressed, so that's when he started going through his different phases and whatnot, and then all to lead you back to dad.
Yeah. And it's all kind of told as if it was like a children's book.
Yeah.
So you're finding like these pages, and it has like I don't know if you've seen that, it's like that stereotypical children's fantasy book where it has the big typed first letter of the page.
It looks like a giant letter that's written in like really ornate calligraphy.
Yes,
yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And
then you blast it with paint.
you blast it.
Yeah, you're just is that a story? I'm going to shoot all over this story. And then you get
blast all over this wall.
Oh, you need some paint? I got some paint for you. Oh, look, it's a kitty. There's no kitty.
But yeah, that's the story in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very... I mean, like, the crutch of this whole thing, I guess, is the story and just kind of going through and kind of being told.
My opinion, I don't think the story is very strong here.
No, I don't know. It's like, it didn't really... I guess they had more time and feedback to put in what they did with, like, What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was a lot stronger than...
No, that was a very deep... I think that was very story-focused. I think this was almost more exploration-focused.
Yeah.
You're just... Or maybe like a focus on artwork. Because, I mean, this was a very artsy project, I want to say.
Very, yeah.
But yeah, any thoughts on story that you had? Or maybe some points you didn't like with it? Or...
I'm really trying to remember, because it did feel like your basic like fairy tale nighttime bed story.
Yeah.
And it's one that could be told in just like 6 to 10 pages, which is kind of what all it was. I think there were only maybe like 10 or 12 like of when you found the scrolling letter on the wall and then got told it was like a paragraph at a time. So it was small. I mean, it didn't really... I don't want to say it didn't like resonate with me. It was just telling a story. It didn't really make me feel one way or another until the end. You're like, oh, the son of the king, and I was like, that's kind of neat. And then that was pretty much about it.
Yeah. We should say it's not a very lengthy game. I think we cranked this out in under 3 hours.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah,
so.
something like that. That was a couch co-op for us. We just sat there and kind of played together and just went through it hand in hand, a little bit of necking. It was good. Oh. No, apparently I still need to find out what exactly that is.
What, necking?
Yeah, I was told by John and Clark to stop saying that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And
you ever see, you ever go to the zoo?
Yeah.
And you see the giraffes getting real aggressive with each other?
Yeah.
That's necking.
Oh. See... What I have in my mind is almost kind of like that, but it's when a man and another man really love each other. It's like that. And then there's some necking. I mean, I'm still not sure. I mean, I don't know what Clark likes to call what we do on Thursday nights, but that's, that might just be me. I gotta go. But yeah, I don't feel like one way or other about the story. It's just kind of...
I think it was a little whack. In my opinion, it sounds like you sound kind of wishy-washy. I was a little bummed out. I was expecting more. Or it could have been just a simple story. I mean, this was a simple story, but it wasn't a very engaging or interesting story for that matter. It was... You're
not wrong.
Yeah, that's all I got on story.
You know what? I think that pretty much kind of sums it up.
Cool. Well, let's draw a door and walk through the door. Wait, was there a door? Yeah, I guess we're going through a door now.
We're dooring it up now.
Yeah. Well, let's talk gameplay.
Gameplay.
Need some WD-40. That shit was squeaky. You can draw me out one of those.
So, I guess the different levels. So the first one, you have the I don't know. You start in a white room. I didn't even know we started the game yet. I literally thought we were still loading.
It's like you wake up in purgatory. There is absolutely nothing around you.
There was nothing, and it wasn't until I think we bumped a button on the controller that he lobbed a
ball of black paint.
Yeah, and I guess the way it splatters, it covers, I guess, details of the environment to start forming the picture. Like, we were in a room, and when we were throwing the balls, you could see where it was splattering on the floor and then up the wall to kind of start forming the room visually for you.
Yeah, it was hard to follow sometimes. Like, where
the first part was the hardest.
Yeah.
Well, not the hard, but the hardest to navigate.
Yeah, and sometimes it's... I know there's a couple points you went nuts on a room, but if you have too much ink everywhere, it starts to kind of blend together and you can't really see the textures.
You kind of have to use it sparingly.
It's like there are spots like when there were stairs and there was like a railing that went up with it. If you lobbed the paintball and it splattered, you might get some on the wall and then a little bit on the rail, and then some of it may have went through the rail, so there's like a couple little spots on the stairs. And to actually really see it, you kind of had to be, I don't want to say strategic about it, but if you go in there all willy-nilly just shooting your paint all over the walls,
you run into the same issue. Like when you're in the all-white room, you can't tell where you're going.
Yeah.
If you paint literally everything black, it's the same effect. You can't tell where you're going.
Exactly.
So you have to it's like a half and half. You got to kind of form some of the environment with the black ink, but not enough that you're coding it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the first level. Second one was you had like the water balls.
Yeah.
It was in the shade area. This wasn't the plant yet. Oh, wait, no. This was... No, you still had the black ink, but you started having shadow.
Yeah, it's like slowly, instead of having to paint everything around you, this is when the king started being a little more lenient with his people and like, okay, well, everything is just too super clean and too white. I will give you shadows. And now you can actually see texture in it. Like all the walls are still white, but now you can actually see the stairs, and like if had like the top of the castle wall where it has like the little notches out, you can start seeing some of those.
And then we go to the level, I guess it's like the same shadow effect, but now there's like plants that are growing, and then we have water balls.
Yeah, and then because there was like the river running through the one section, so now you can start to see new things are being introduced in the environment.
Yeah, so that you're throwing this water to grow this vine that you use to kind of climb certain parts of the environment.
Yeah, so it's kind of at that point, if you're able to like build your own level, like if you could find a way to like spread the vines, then go for it. I mean, I know as far as you just had vines in every single spot.
Yeah, I went nuts in almost every single level.
You did. You had fun with it.
There was something fun to be had about covering the environment with something.
Yeah.
Whether it was the black ink or the vines or I did not like I forget which level. I think the next level was where you're in this like it's like a black and night jungle kind of thing, and there's these spiders that will come out. I hated that part of the game. I thought that was the worst because you got to stay in the light the whole time. So
Yeah.
you're basically throwing. So I don't even know what you're throwing at that point, but you're pushing this light. So whatever. That level sucked.
Yeah, that was kind of that was like the only time like if you stood in the shadows too long, you just had like a flash of red come on the screen, like you got hit.
Yeah.
Which we probably should have just stayed in the shadows to see, can you like die, or what happens if you get hit too much?
Yeah, I don't know.
Missed opportunity. I'm going to have to not go back and try that again.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever touch this game again. So the next level was this very weird one where you were making 3-dimensional objects to kind of travel through the level. So you'd make like a square on the ground, and then you aim up to raise it to whatever level or a height that you wanted to keep it at.
Yeah.
And then you activate it, and it makes this shape.
Which those levels were actually really cool because it was also going between like that world where you can build like your platforms or your stairs and whatnot, and then you went back into the other world, like the dark world, and then whatever you built was pretty much like the room you're in looks almost exactly like the light, like the daylight place where you were building the platforms, and they're still there to kind of get through. So having to go back and forth between the two, if it exists in one, then it will show up in the other, and you use that because then it's kind of more like a puzzle game a little bit. Because that's when it started throwing some of those in. I'm like, oh, okay, well that's kind of neat. You know, I'm a big fan of like puzzle games. It's not like it went too heavy on it. It was too hard to find out, but at least like putting some of that in and brought in some of like the fun aspect to it.
And then I guess the last part was, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last part was we were climbing the lighthouse to get to the king, but you had to like kind of rush because the water was raised.
Yeah, like you were under like a little
I think you had to use like a lot of the tricks that you've learned from throughout the game, more or less. Not crazy amounts, but
if there was any point in the game where a montage would be appropriate, that's it, just to show everything you did up until that point. Push it to the limit, and then you're running up the tower and you're blasting your little your paintballs, and then you need to grow vines here. Oh no, now it's time to throw out some platforms. Push it to the limit.
Then you have your conversation with the king, and then I guess you play a credits level where you're traveling through the remember that?
Yeah. Through the vine, which took longer than some of the other parts of the game.
That was probably one of the harder portions because you're like hanging upside down and trying to form these vines. And
yeah, the controls for it were kind of a pain in the ass when you're trying to climb a little bit. It was like trying to move around, and especially because sometimes you had to go from the wall to the ceiling, and it didn't always really transition that nicely. You think you're on it, and then you drop back down to like the floor. Then you got to climb up again. I think I'm on the ceiling. Nope, back down on the floor again. So that was kind of a pain in the dick.
Side note: while you're traveling through the game, there is a collectible. There's these little balloons.
Oh yeah,
that you're trying to throw your object at to pop them.
Those balloon motherfuckers. Helium looking bitch.
For anybody who likes, I guess, looking for that extra challenge, when you get these collectibles, they're kind of tallied up as like a currency, and you can buy certain things to add effects to the game, like you can buy the rapid fire gun.
Yeah, that was actually pretty fun.
I forget what else you can.
There is the radar for the balloons.
Yep.
You can get a sniper rifle to shoot paintballs like super far. And there's a couple other ones I forget because we didn't get through.
No, we didn't get a ton. I mean, we did seek out some balloons, but
yeah, some of them were invisible too, which really made it
what the fuck's
hard.
Up with that?
Yeah,
that's invisible balloons, an invisible collectible.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's trying to give you that replay ability once you finally get your balloon radar. Because we even messed around for a few levels.
We did,
and had like I
wanted to get that one, in that there's like this labyrinth that keeps repeating until you. What did you have to do there? Knock the golden chalice down?
Something off the hand? Wasn't the hand?
I forget.
Because there was the labyrinth, and then you had to climb that tower to get up, like chase the Swan and get to the balloon.
No, I'm not talking about that labyrinth.
Oh.
Sorry, the the one room that kept repeating. So if you
yeah,
that's the one balloon I was really having a hard time finding.
Yeah,
I found it in that little nook.
Yeah,
eventually
it was like if you drop through the hole in the floor, it just puts you back up through the ceiling. And yeah, you had to knock those like two chalice urn looking things off.
Why? Why is that the key? You have to knock those off a ledge to
just shoot it. It's on a weight sensitive trigger that is like, oh shit, now I'm triggered. Here's a new trigger. That was went off a rail there.
Well, I guess that kind of wraps up gameplay. It's okay.
It plays as a first-person shooter, so it's
kind of.
It's not
like as if you're lobbing grenades.
Yeah,
more or less. Like that's your only weapon type is grenade.
Yeah,
that and I guess a rapid-fire grenade launcher,
something like that. Either that, or if you ever played the original Contra and you had like the one machine gun where it just kept shooting out the pellets in a straight line. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. But that's about it.
Yeah.
It starts out kind of fun. I think it kind of wears on you after a little bit. Not that it's really long. It's, again, under 3 hours. But
yeah,
I think it was a really cool concept at first and then just kind of fell off for me personally.
You're not alone in that one.
I would have been much happier. Well, maybe this is like a final thought. But yeah, you know what? I'll save it for final thoughts.
Yeah.
Let's talk graphics.
Oh, graphics.
Graphics.
Okay.
How's that for a segue? You're welcome.
Actually, that thought I was going to save for the final thoughts, I'm going to speak it right here.
Fuck, spoiler alert.
I liked the first level the best. I thought that was the most interesting. And I think they should have kept that straight through the game, and I would have liked the game a lot more.
Yeah?
Like, painting the environment on a blank canvas, I thought was really cool. And where you can't see in the distance because you don't know any of the landscape until you paint it.
Yeah.
I thought that was the most interesting and the most fun to explore because you're literally building it piece by piece. It's not just laid out for you.
I see where you're coming from with that.
I would have liked an entire game like that. Just building the environment and exploring that way. I also thought it looked the coolest, like art design wise. It was very simple, but just like the way the paint splattered and like painted, you know what I mean? Like the way it formed the environment by having paint splatter on it was visually very cool looking. And I don't think the game had that same impact on me the further we got in the game.
I get that. It's like because you have no idea what is actually going to be there. So it's like you're surprised every time that you lob one of the paintballs. And then some of like it's now that you're saying that, one of the really cool things is when you're like in the building and you're trying to go through, and then all of a sudden you're shooting your paintball out in the direction that you're going, and it starts looking like grass, and then you hit trees, and then there's the pond and everything else, and all it looked like was just big open white nothingness, and then it starts kind of filling in. That would be neat. And maybe like later in, like through the game, as you're telling things, like different colors, maybe different colors trigger different things.
Yeah,
at least
like,
it's like so much more in your hands. Like then it's like really you are making your whole game.
Yeah, I thought that would have been cool. Like just to, I don't know, as like let's say after we walk by that pond when we were tossing all the balls in the pond and everything.
Yeah.
Let's say we just threw a loose one and boom, there's the side of a house. And now we have this house to explore. Like I would have been cool with being surprised with things popping up as you discover them that way. It's just, I don't know, the way they did go was interesting, but not as much of an impact as that first level had on me. That's what really sticks out to me with this game is that very first level.
We can make that.
I'm
sure it's not trademarked or anything, and then we just call it like the incomplete ostrich.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Nice.
Yeah. Like the most graphically appealing was in the beginning, and especially just because of the way they did the paint splatter on the surfaces, I think was awesome, because you might only just get like a few specks out of it, and it's not like you need to cover the entire thing to get the picture. It fills it in, and it makes your mind work a little bit. It's like, what is that? Oh, that's a banister.
Yeah.
It's like, what is that? Oh, it's like a giant vase or statue or something else. Past that, when it starts getting into, when you're getting into like the actual kingdom and the other, like the labyrinth and whatnot, it started getting repetitive, where everything, even though there were shadows and other stuff, it felt, I don't know, it too much of the same thing. And it started, the more you got into the game, the more of like the impact of the graphics were taken away.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're down in the when you're down like the caves where you have to push that ball of light, and you know, the part that you hate.
Yeah.
The way they did the shadowing with some of the colors and the background and like some of the little creatures, I thought that was really neat. I mean, you can definitely tell that they put a lot of time and effort into, you know, the artwork that is the game. I don't really know how to feel. It just kind of felt like it dropped off for me as the game went on a bit. Once the more they added, the more it kind of took away.
Yeah. It's a shame too, because there was another point I was really excited for. That the first time, so we left that castle. Remember where the little mini balloon was that we had to hit on the mini replica setup of the castle?
Yeah.
So right when you leave there, you're at the top of the staircase heading down, and then you see that whole labyrinth below you. I thought a good chunk of the game was us going to be traveling through this labyrinth, and I thought that would have been a cool, like being stuck in a maze.
We're playing Maze Runner now.
Yeah. I thought that would have been kind of cool, and all you do is like one or two turns, and you're through the whole thing.
Yeah, it didn't take long.
You know what I mean? And I was like, we just kind of like portrayed this fun environment for me to explore, and then you just snag it away in like 30 seconds.
You want this? How's this look? Can't touch. Oh shit. Surprised we were in a strip club for 3 hours. Hey, just look at this. No, you don't get to play with it at all. It's like, you just look at it.
But pay lots of money.
Yeah, but pay lots of money. Where this one didn't cost that much money.
No, I forget how much this game was. It was like $15 or something?
I think it was $15. Something like that. I would have paid $5. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of where I sit graphically. I think initially amazing. I like the initial concepts, and then the further we went through the game, the less interested I was graphically.
Yeah, we have a consensus there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't think there's really too much else to
cool.
Add. Yeah.
Well, let's hop on that broken swan. I don't even know how it could make that noise. It doesn't have a complete neck.
It's like you're playing the bagpipes just without any squeal. Just keep pressing on the bag.
It's just depressing.
I know.
Fill me with hot air. Well, let's fly our way into music.
Music.
It still has wings.
Yes, it does.
It's like a bird. It can fly away. I don't know where my head is. That bitch never painted. So now I sound like I'm like a bird. Nothing overwhelming music-wise.
I don't remember the music, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And there was only, I don't know, there was just background, just as you're walking. I just remember it sounded very kid-ish. I don't know. I don't want to say it's not like, you know, like a mobile you play above the baby crib and it sounds that kid-like, but it was very, I don't know. Where's Moby?
Yeah, I know. Well,
he got stomped by Obi.
They do still have an electronic score for this game. It was composed by Joel Korlitz. It was kind of a mesh up between like
it had some
electronic music and string instruments.
Yeah, like orchestra almost. Yeah. Where it had a calm, somber background.
And I guess there was a little voice acting, not from our main character, but there was like a narrator female.
Yeah.
And then there was the king.
I always thought in a way it was like his mother telling the story.
It could be. But they
never told you.
No, they didn't.
No.
What was the word I was looking for? They never confirmed that.
Oh, there it is. Confirmed.
The confirm.
Yeah.
But no, that's a good point. Because you're probably correct. It is probably coming from the mother.
Yeah. And then just the king.
Yeah, just the king. And then you hear the sound effects, which are kind of satisfying of the paint hitting the environment.
Oh, yeah, like the thwop that it made.
That, and I liked when when you did throw the paintballs and they hit the water. And it was just like...
The little boop.
It was like a boop, but a little bit of a splash as well.
No, I can't do it.
Yeah, because we were chucking a shit ton of those.
Yeah, we were.
So those were some of my favorite points. Like, when you first start playing this game, you throw like one paintball at a time. And then you realize you could just mash the shit out of the button and hurl an infinite amount of these motherfuckers.
That is exactly how it went. Pop, 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 pop,
Yeah,
pop,
sometimes
pop,
you're
pop,
just
pop.
like, you know what? I really need to just get through this room. I'm just going to throw about 50 paintballs.
Let's see where it goes.
Nothing to write home about in this segment, though.
No, I ran out of stamps. It's not even worth it going out and picking up more.
Got to get this forever stamps.
Yeah, I know.
So you don't have to pick out the plus ones.
Oh, yeah.
The 1 centers.
The 1 centers. That damn 1%.
I wonder, speaking of that, is it valid to pay postage with only 1 cent stamps? If you were just like to cover the shit out of that envelope with 1 cent stamps. Is that legal?
Why wouldn't it be? It might be. I mean, we can go get like a booklet of 1 cent stamps, and then what is it, like 34, 36 cents? No, it isn't like 42. I don't even know how much it costs. I always got forever stamps. Do you know?
I think it's really hard to get non-forever stamps anymore.
Like what's the cost of postage? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
here.
let's figure this out for
You
all
know.
these Americans out here. I'm gonna wait. Make an educated guess before we.
All right,
we're
before
looking.
it goes, as you see, I haven't searched as. I'm gonna say 42 cents.
I'm gonna say 54 cents.
54 cents.
Yeah.
Are we doing Price is Right rules?
no.
Okay. Just whoever's closest. Let's do that. What's the cost of U.S. postage? Oh,
1 forever stamp. It says.
yeah. First class mail letter, 1 ounce, which is what I just think first class is just any like postage anyway. That isn't like the pre-sorted shit. Will increase by 5 cents to 55 cents from 50. So it's going to be 55 cents.
Wait, when did that happen? Is that already in effect?
Let's see. That just says new postal rate increase. I mean, this is the content that people are looking for. You need to know. You need to know.
It's like a public service announcement.
Exactly. This was January 27th of 2019.
Oh wow.
Yeah, first class went from 50 cents to 55. Each additional ounce for a first class mail letter would cost 15 cents, which is a decrease from 21.
Oh.
So if you got to send something a little bigger,
You're saving like 6 cents per ounce now.
Yeah, I know. But now that would mean that we would have to try to fit 55 1-cent stamps on an envelope, which,
Can you do it?
I mean, you can. They're not all going to stay in the upper right-hand corner.
No, you just stack them one on top of each other.
Yeah. You count it. It's valid.
Yeah, this is 1.5 inches thick.
That's what she said.
But no, I mean, on the front of the letter, okay, think about this. A standard mailing envelope. Is there enough surface area to fit 55 stamps without covering up one another? Because I don't know if they're valid anymore. And then, if you fit all 55, where do you write the to address, not to mention the return address?
So, there is definitely enough room on an envelope to put 55 of them without overlapping each other. When it comes to the to address and return address, write really fucking small. I think we can do it. I think it can be done. You know
What is the length and the width of a standard stamp, and what is the length and the width of a standard?
Are we going this far
mailing
into this? It's a good thing Clark isn't here. He'd be so pissed. This is, I'm telling you, this is what people want to hear, Clark. This is, you know what? This is for you. Okay. Length times width of standard envelope. Common size. Okay. We're going to need to write this down.
Hold on. Let me.
All right. So Pretty much a standard size envelope, or one of the ones that's most common, is 6 by 9 inches.
All right, so we got 54 square inches of surface area on the front of an envelope. Okay, 54 inches squared.
All right. And a standard size, that's forever, but we'll still go with that, is 0.87 inches.
Okay, 0.87?
Yeah, by 0.979. So it'd be like 0.978 if it gets too close.
Oh, so I guess you would.
Yeah.
So that's less than a square inch. So hold on. Hopefully, I'm not taking into account currently. Let me do the math on this real quick. So if we're looking at purely surface area, we'll be okay. It concerns me. Let's see. So, yeah, you'd be fine.
So that's enough. And I even...
Hold on 1 second.
Oh,
wait, hold on. I did the wrong thing there. 0.979. Okay, so you can... actually... Oh, no.
Oh, because like 6 times 9, 54 stamps?
You could fit the 54 stamps because it's almost like a square inch. But vertically or horizontally, you can't add an extra line of stamps without cutting the stamps.
Oh.
So you can only fit 6 stamps by 9 stamps. Now you have this little ring of unused space.
Yeah.
But it's not enough to put a stamp anywhere on that. So the most you could fit on the front of an envelope is 54 inches.
So 1 stamp short of...
Could you put it on the back of the envelope?
I don't think you can do that.
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can.
Well then.
Can you put stamps on the back of an envelope?
Oh, we're asking Siri. Oh wait,
Stamps
that's
on the back.
not an iPhone, is it?
No, it's not.
So that's was that Ted? That's not Siri?
Yeah, and I love when he talks to me. I give my TED Talks.
TED Talk.
See what I did there? See what I did? Can you put return address should be that, stamp should not overlap, and extra postage can be placed on the back of the envelope.
Oh, shit.
We can put 108 goddamn stamps on that fucking envelope. Boom.
Well, then you still gotta write the to address and the...
Take away to 106.
And I guess you don't technically need a return address, right?
I
don't think
know.
you do.
I don't know, unless I think you have certain type of postage. But you might not.
Well, cool. We solved the envelope and stamp debacle that was
Yeah. I mean,
really bothering us in the middle of this episode.
Yeah. I mean, I know this has been going on for a while. I'm sorry it took years to get back to you, everybody, on this, but
Yeah, I know.
it has been debunked now. We are good. No need to go out and buy an entire booklet of 1-cent stamps and then have me mail Harry a letter.
We addressed the real issues of America.
Yeah, this is what we need to be worrying about right now. Trade war with China? Who cares? How many stamps on a fucking envelope? Standard. Don't give me that giant manila envelope size shit. I know you can put more on there with the bubble wrap. Then it starts getting too heavy.
Yeah.
It's about anything over 13 ounces, you have to hand to one of the mail people. They can't just throw it in a box because that's important.
So anyway, were you ready to...
So the sound was...
Oh, yeah, we're done sound.
Yeah, I mean, we left off on the plopping, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to do final thoughts.
I think I'm ready for that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. So usually for a lot of games, this is the part where I say I'm pretty glad I played it, but I could have been okay just not playing it and just reading about it. The tie-in, which we were talking about in the very beginning, I was really hoping for an actual tie-in to What Remains of Edith Finch, because that was a pretty cool game. And this was...
Not.
Yeah. I don't want to take everything away from it. It was fun to an extent, and that extent was about 10, 15 minutes, which by that, you're already like 20% through the game, so not too bad.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's a very short game.
What was it, like 4 or 5 chapters only kind of thing?
I think there were like 6, but each chapter was like 20 minutes long, maybe. Now, I wish there was, more I could say about it, but I mean, what do you really expect for a 3-hour game? Well, no, I can't even say that. I played a few that I've gotten a lot more entertainment out of. But yeah, I give it about 10-15 minutes worth of fun. I would have rather played like $5, maybe like $2. That would have been okay. Yeah, that's pretty much what remains of my final thoughts.
So I guess they needed a launching point, and then I guess this made enough ripples that the studio was able to get more funding to produce a much better project. So as far as like a starting point, I mean, good on them for doing what they needed to launch to Edith Finch, because I thought Edith Finch was a really well put together game. I really enjoyed it. This was more of just like a curiosity project to see what the roots of this company were, more or less, playing Edith Finch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a game. I don't know if I'm happy I experienced it or upset that I experienced it.
It's just kind of there.
It just kind of there.
Yeah.
That first level sticks with me a bit, but the rest of the game is very forgettable.
What were we talking about?
Yeah, not much to be said here. I would just say save your money on this one.
Yeah.
I don't just read a synopsis if you're curious, or wait for it to be free, or watch a Let's Play to get some experience. It's not really worth your time.
Yeah, and if you have a Saturday afternoon where you have nothing to do for a half hour, just watch someone play, and then you got the entire experience of the game.
Yeah, basically. You're not missing anything by not playing it yourself.
No.
Cool. Well, let's do some scores.
I'm ready to score.
The score.
All right, Steve, I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 10.
Oof.
Which is below Lollipop Chainsaw.
Oh, classic.
But above No Man's Sky.
Things got to be getting really, really close down there. This one, no, I can't be swayed by like just the first 10 minutes. I'll give it a D+.
D+.
A D+.
I don't think you've given a lot of things a D+.
Not too many. Not too many things reach down to D.
No, it's either F or C and above.
Yeah.
There's never anything in the D range.
No, well, there is now.
There you go.
That's what we're looking at. Yeah, I think that's an appropriate spot for it.
Okay.
For me, anyway.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm glad everybody checked this out this evening, learned about some postage.
Yeah, you are all a little more informed right now. And I apologize to any of the international listeners that probably just went, that was gone. Either that or you know what? Let us know what your postage is. Yeah. Maybe we can start figuring this out. We're going out, you know. You're gonna be Mr. Worldwide after all.
Absolutely.
Of postage.
Of postage.
Yeah, that's pretty fitting for you. You're like the whitest person ever.
Yeah, I am.
Mr. Worldwide! UPS got nothing on me. FedEx, fuck you. We'll call you like HBX.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then you can be HBX Express.
Ooh.
Look at that. We're branching out here.
Already called that.
Whoop, nope, there it is already.
Yeah.
That delivery was really fast. I know. Sorry, this never happens. You're so pretty.
Oh boy. Well, I think we're going to wrap things up there for the evening.
I think so.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging in there, everybody.
Yeah, and stay tuned for more Harry's 5-star Yelp reviews coming.
Yeah, I'm excited for those. I was so happy to hear that. That just made my night.
It's treasure.
It is treasure. It's like, that's not even gold, that's platinum.
Yeah. Treasure, unlike the game we just reviewed.
Oh, you can.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I know. Just bury that back. You don't need a X marks the spot.
Yeah.
No. It's not. You just brush that X off.
All right, well, I think we're going to end it there.
Sounds good.
Stay sexy.
I love you guys.
Thanks for listening to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. Stay up to date on our Facebook at facebook.com/superfunpodcast.